What's up, everybody? It is Uncle Daddy here checking in with you. I'm the producer this week of the wellRED podcast. Just want to do some dates real quick. First of all, wellRED, as usual, closing out the year at Zany's Nashville the weekend before Christmas. I want to say it's the 14th, 15th, 16th. I may be off by a day or two, but you can go to wellredcomedy.com and get those tickets. It will be the only chance to see us all together this year, as far as I know. I know I got some dates coming up. I'm going to be in Savannah, Atlanta. I'm going to be a part of the New York Comedy Festival. I'm going to be part of the Red Clay Comedy Festival. You can find my dates on drewmorgancomedy.com and peek behind the curtains. I'm doing this intro while Trae Crowder's on the mic. Trae, you want to go ahead and tell people where they can find you and when?
Other than Zanies with you fellers, I've only got California shows the rest of this year as it has worked out. But I've got plenty more in plenty other places in 2023. But I'll be in San Jose October 20th, and then November 9th and 10th, I'll be in the Brea and Oxnard, California improvs. But yeah, go to TraeCrowder.com and see all the dates in 2023. Currently adding a bunch more. Coming to Florida finally, working on Texas, yada, yada, all that stuff. So TraeCrowder.com. It's one-stop shopping too, because also any wellRED shows are on there and will be marked accordingly. So
Yeah, and I want to reiterate real quick. Atlanta, October the 21st. I really want people to come out. I love Atlanta. I always have good shows there. Don't blow this for me. Come out, have fun. All right, let's get started with the show.
They're the liberal rednecks. They like cornbread, mud, sex. They care way too much, but don't give a fuck. They're the liberal rednecks that makes some people upset. They got three big old dicks that you can suck.
all right.
Here we are.
So let me ask you a question. It's your general opinion that mostly Apple really does hit for people, right? It's not just a trend thing. People
The
like Apple's.
products of Apple.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you pay more for the logo than anything, but they're still, they're good. They're good stuff.
I mean, I think people feel that way. I know a lot of nerds hate them, but I know a lot of nerds like them.
Well, I'm not a computer nerd at all. I'm very computer dumb, in fact. And I finally got a MacBook Pro recently, and I don't know if computers have lemons the way cars have lemons, but
Uh-oh.
this thing is the hands down biggest piece of shit I've ever owned, and I hate it, and it sucks.
I have
And
a I have
and
a
I'm not just saying that, and it's not just me being a hater. I I- I'm a I have such a resentment for Apple because they've got me right where they want me, despite the fact that I hate them and everything they stand for. But generally, I've been pleased with the way stuff works for the most part until this fucking thing, and I hate it. But here
All
we
right,
are.
let's back up. What do you got? A what?
A MacBook Pro.
I just got a new MacBook Pro. I got it to be my editing equipment when I was on the road with that art project / comedy thing me and DJ were going to do that didn't ever pan out. I've had no trouble out of it, but I haven't pushed it. Have you been pushing it? Have you been trying to
No,
edit?
no. The thing that's got me even doing this right now is because you texted me the link to do the show,
Yeah.
and it's a MacBook Pro. It's hooked up to my Apple ID, so I have my text messages on the computer. So I was like, yeah, I could just get it on the computer. So I went to the text message thing, and it's just not allowing me to click any. Like my clicker ain't clicking nothing, but only in the text message window, not in any other window. It freezes up all the time. It like locks up and shuts down. It's like stuff that any computer ought not be doing. And I
You
guess I
taking
need to
it?
take it to see some geniuses and
Yeah, go see the geniuses.
see what they have to say about it. But I resent the fact I even need to do that because it's like 3 months old or something, and cost whatever it was, $2,000 or
Might
whatever.
might be a random simple thing, or it might be a lemon. I mean, the good thing about them generally as a company, did you get Apple Care?
I don't know.
Did your wife buy it? Did Katie buy it?
No, I bought it.
I hope you got Apple Care because it'll make it all easier. But like, I know in my experiences with Apple Care, they just be fixing it, and if it's a lemon, they should replace it. But like every company, man, Have you noticed this? A lot of companies, it seems like their business model is to hit real hard till they corner the market
Mm-hmm.
and then just stop hitting.
Yeah.
I think I've read that Amazon lost money on purpose for like a decade
Yeah.
in order to become all we got.
The monster that they are.
So I'm wondering if like Apple built its reputation because like I mean I even have friends with stories of like, well, and I've had them since law school, so we're going back a long time. They take care of you, but I wonder if like they don't anymore because I've been hearing a lot of people complain. One of the biggest complaints, they got sued. They were making old phones slow on purpose.
Yeah, I always totally figured that was a real thing that they were
Yeah, me
really
too.
doing.
I got one right now, an old one, and it's cracked, and I don't care
You
because
ain't gonna
like
get
whatever.
that new 14.
I don't know. Look at me. I look like I'm a Victorian ghost with herpes right now.
Sorry.
It's weird because like I'm kind of not high tech. I'm not high tech about anything. I'm kind of into like new gadgets in some ways, and then I'm just into really old shit in other ways. I have a MacBook Pro. I have a desktop. They're all linked up. I edit on them. I'm into that stuff. But then, like, I mean, honestly, I want a flip phone. Like, sincerely, you cannot do Instagram Reels without a phone. You can't really keep up with like what we do in terms of promo on social media without a phone. I genuinely want a flip phone. I'm barely on anymore. I finally broke my habit of it. I mean, you guys probably noticed, or maybe you don't. I don't be responding to texts as frequently or as quickly.
Uh-huh.
I just I'm not into it.
You're not into what? Just being on the phone at all?
Yes, because to me it's like, well, the drug. I'm one of those people that can't drink on the weekends when it comes to the phone. I start answering your texts. Then while I'm there, I go check my Twitter. Then I get in an argument with somebody. Then that makes me in a bad mood. So I go look at Instagram to see some butts or something. Now I'm scrolling on that for an hour. It's got me, or it don't. Like those two seem to be the two modes. And lately, I've been pretty good at it not having me. I don't give a shit about it.
Yeah, my fucking sinuses is rough the past few days, but that's neither here nor there. I'm pretty good about like it was weird, like going viral on the social medias broke my addiction to social media, all those years ago, kind of almost by necessity, because overnight it became something I could not keep up with no matter how I tried. So I just mostly stopped trying ever since then. And it's been so long now. It's like social media is almost like a sody pop to me or something. Like I barely even remember being completely hooked on the shit, but I definitely was for a long time. I still like
Or
I dick around on Reddit, but I don't consider that because I don't engage. I'm just a lurker. I don't ever. I just go there to see what's going on in the world of the internet and look at cats and memes and stuff. I don't interact with people, so it's not a social media type thing for me.
are you on your phone though? Like, are you texting and emailing, or are you able to just kind of set it down?
I mean, I check in if I'm on Reddit, I'm on my phone, but I check in. I just check in on text and emails and shit.
I'd be curious to hear from people. Tweet at us or whatever it is you want to do, which is ironic because Trae won't see
Mm-hmm.
it. He just
Mm-hmm.
admitted. Uh,
Corey will say it.
I wonder if like, are we, you don't hear about it much anymore. Are people less addicted, or are we just like it's such a part of it's just an extension of our hand now? We don't even talk about it like sugar.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like Corey be on there a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh well,
I
I
guess
do too. I just
we sh-
wonder since people aren't talking about it as much, have we just like accepted that a big part of the population is hooked on the phones? And I said like sugar. I mean, sugar was very much a treat, not something people rarely had, and now it's literally in everything. Has the phone become that?
yes, I think that's exactly what the phone has become.
I do too.
Also, you said he wasn't here, but just so everybody knows, Cho's on vacation with Mrs. Cho in Boston and New England are up there looking at leaves and antiquing and just other general super white people shit. It was funny. He texted yesterday. You used to live in Boston. He was like, "Is it just me or like what'd he say?" He was like, "I don't remember people in Boston being so rude." And you were like, "That's funny because I feel like that's literally sort of their whole thing."
That's what they're known for, mass
Mass
holes.
holes, yeah. Yeah, so I guess Cho was. I'd like to have some more when he comes back. We need to ask him for some more details on the specific rudeness he encountered. Because like anytime he don't hit for people, it usually hits for me. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
you know, like it's just usually funny in some way. So some
He freaks out.
masshole with a Boston accent, right? Yeah, yeah. He'll have he once had a complete breakdown and fully showed his ass at the Walt Disney Studios, the actual studios in the gift shop, because they wouldn't let him buy a Donald Duck notepad because it was for cast members only, which means Disney employees, and they wouldn't let him buy it. And so he threw a fit and stormed out basically because
I like to
it was made
imagine.
to seem as though he did not hit, and that was his whole thing. He literally said he was like, I don't know how to prove it to you right now, but I do hit.
I like to imagine someone being like, "What was all that commotion?" Who was in the back?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know how these are just for cast members? Somebody really wanted one. Like, oh, a child?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Kinda. A
Yeah.
6'1"
Sort of,
child.
yeah, sort of looked like a big child. Yeah. Yeah.
So something that you just made me think of, and I knew this was going to come up, and I was debating on whether or not to bring it up, but it might be interesting to talk about of whether or not I should take offense. When I'm not here, I
Mm.
always listen to the first 10 minutes. You guys literally never address it. You
That's
don't.
not true. I feel like we make fun of you when you're not here.
Maybe you do it on the
We
back
say
end.
you're dead and stuff, and
Maybe you do it on the back end, and I just don't ever make it that
it's
far.
funny because I definitely don't think that that's accurate because I feel like we usually at least talk a little bit of shit about you, which I always expect you to hear. Maybe it's just not within the first 10 minutes, but
Well,
it's
one of
definitely
the
something I
reasons,
endeavor to do, which is sort of what I'm doing right now,
sure, yeah, it's a good.
with
You got to do it.
yeah,
I mean, that's the thing. It's like that's the thing in comedy. You'd rather them be mad at you or talking shit than acting like you don't exist.
right.
Well, one of the reasons I wanted to bring it up is to say that a lot of times I don't know why I feel the need to defend myself or like whatever. I feel like no one's noticing it, but I want people to know that I'm not lazy. Like oftentimes schedules conflict in a way where it's me or you, and
Yeah.
it just like
Yes.
makes sense that I miss and you don't miss. And
Right.
to be clear, I'm like the laziness in me is like that's fine, I won't do it.
Right.
But I just don't want people to think, well, I guess Drew didn't feel like joining again. It's like, no, I was available, but on the wrong
Well,
day.
also when he's not on vacation, Cho's the one that handles all of the stuff for
Yes.
this podcast, and of course he gonna pick me,
Well,
every
sure.
time since he's in love with me and all that. So,
Well, and again,
you
you're like
know,
the founder of the wellRED Tour, but also like that hits for me too.
yeah.
Like he picks you, and I'm like, got out of it
No,
again.
what am I gonna do? Hands are tied. I can't do
Uh,
it. Do you have any good like encounters with mass holes from when you were living there? Like ones that are funny or egregious, like you get called a queer outside of dunks or anything like that?
I got called a queer at least a couple of times. Yeah, there's some funny bar stories. To be honest, most of my funny stories, like what's DJ's old line? If you get called a hillbilly, I guarantee goddamn you was
Probably
doing
doing
some
some
hillbilly
hillbilly
shit.
shit. Yeah, right.
Ain't no some bitch been out in the woods drinking Miller Lite on a 4-wheeler with his shirt off and keep it on the down low. You was
Uh-huh.
making it be known, and you got called a hillbilly. I bring that up because the first couple stories that pop into my brain, there's some massholes involved, but there's absolutely some dumb fuck rednecks involved. When we come back from this break, I'll tell you one of my favorite stories involving like hillbillies in the city kind of thing because there's layers to it. There's multiple people involved. I had some friends come in. We got separated. It was a lot. So right when we get back, I will tell that, and yeah, be pretty good. Hey, everybody, I want to let you know that today's episode is sponsored by Helix. Helix mattresses. You've heard me talk about them. You know that I love them. I've had my Helix now for, I guess, a little over a year, and I love it. I love my Helix mattress. You guys have heard me talk about it. You know that I love it. I am a hot sleeper. I need a lot of room. Andy, she needs a mattress that is soft and encompasses her. Well, it somehow provides both. I don't know how it does it. Keeps me cool, keeps her encompassed. We got the Deluxe Midnight King. How did we get it? Well, we took the Helix Sleep Quiz. Helix has 14 unique mattresses, including luxury models, mattresses for big and tall people, even mattresses for kids. And the way you get it is you go and you take that Helix Sleep Quiz and you find the perfect mattress for you in under 2 minutes. You answer some questions. They listen to your answers. I don't know how it works. Algorithm magic. We don't question it. What we know is they then mail it to your house. It's a money back guarantee for 100 nights. If you don't like it, they'll say send it back to us. No big deal. I got it. There was no sending it back. The quiz worked. The mattress is awesome. Excuse me, because you can get whatever model you need. You can get soft, medium, firm. You got to let them know, are you a back sleeper? Are you a stomach sleeper? Are you a side sleeper? They take all that into account and they hook you up with a really, really, really good mattress. It's American made. It comes with a 10 or 15-year warranty, depending on the model. And don't take my word for it. It was the number one mattress picked by GQ and Wired magazine. It is recommended by chiropractors and doctors of sleep medicine as the go-to solution for improving your sleep. They got special discounts for first responders and teachers and students. You can figure that out on the site. And then, of course, wellRED listeners have a very special code. You go to helixsleep.com/wellRED right now, and they will give you $200 off your mattress order and 2 free pillows. helixsleep.com/wellRED. With Helix, better sleep starts now. Get that $200 off. Get you 2 free pillows. It's awesome.
All right, and we're back. So these mass hole stories.
Yeah. I was trying to think of some of the better ones, man. There was one guy who I went to law school with. I'll do this one quick, and then I'll do the big one I teased. This one, I'm kind of the hero of this story, but that's not why I thought of it. I was just trying to think of funny stories. His name's Nick. He's a good dude. He was really tight with Micah, who you met, who I was tight with. And we were out drinking, and me and him got in the dumbest argument. And
with each other?
Yeah, it was over Guinness and IPAs. I guess we've talked about this before. I may have even told this story before. Guinness is low in calories.
Yeah.
But it's very heavy because of that nitro.
Right.
And he was making that point, and I was like, yeah, but you still can't have 6 of them. I think I said, I can't do another Guinness. I'm full or something like that. And he was making the point, this has the same calories as the light beer you ordered. And I'm like, it's not just about calories, dog. It's about the nitrous in it and the sugary feel and all that. Well, this dude, the masshole in him, he's taking me to task. He starts yelling. He's like making a big scene. He's like, hey, literally, everybody, this fucking guy right here says he's too full for a Guinness. He's too full for a Guinness, this guy here. I don't think he called me, a queer, but like that was the implication. It's the implication, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So literally some people are like, okay, whatever. Some people are laughing at me. Now my red's getting up. And I'm like, all right, let's do a bet. I say Guinness is filling. You say it's not filling. Here's the bet. I'll bet you that I can chug a pitcher of an IPA quicker than you can chug a pitcher of a Guinness. Now, mind you, this dude played Division I football defensive line. He weighed, I'm not exaggerating, 320 pounds.
So he played like Boston College?
He played at Holy Cross before they lost their football team.
Yeah.
She's like, now he's also massholed me. Everybody. So now everybody's looking. He's like, all right, we'll take the bet, right? I order him the pitchers. Micah's just laughing. Micah's looking at me like, you can't chug IPA. Even if you're right about the filling aspect, fucking IPA is gross, right? I get the pitcher. We say go. I start to turn it up. And then I just set it down. And the whole crowd watches this 320-pound man, chug an entire pitcher of Guinness. And it takes quite a few people like a minute or two to figure out. Like they're like, "Oh, he gave up." It's like, no, I just tricked this giant man into chugging a whole fucking pitcher again. He puts it down, slams it. He's like, "Yeah, fuck you." Oh shit. He ran to the bathroom and puked. And then he went home and he didn't have my number. So he's texting Micah messages to show me because he doesn't have my number. And it's just like a string of expletives. This fucking piece of shit. He's no kind of man. That kind of thing. He tricked me. He thinks it's funny, blah, blah, blah. But he also thought it was a pretty good move on my part. And like most giant men who played sports, adores me now and didn't beat me up. All right, the longer story. We're at a bar. Brian and Robert from Morgan County, the Morgan County Maniacs are in town. Brian's my best friend from forever. People may have heard me talk about Robert. He's a real corker. He's quite a character. He adopted, half black, half white, but talks like this. Loves to tell stories of getting pulled over in adjacent towns in our county. Everyone in our town knows him, but the cops pull him over one town over, and he shows them his ID, and they're like, "Wait a minute, are you Roger Brown's son?" And he's like, "Yeah." And they're like, "All right, you're free to go." They're up there. The first story, we were at a party, and I had to leave to go get something as soon as I got there. And when I came back up the stairs, the crowd is chanting Tennessee. Tennessee, Tennessee. And I walk in, and Robert is on one knee chugging a bottle of vodka.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So, like, he's been making his mark or trying to in the city of Boston. We go out to a bar, and things are going good. I think we were going to leave and go to a different bar, and they told Brian that he never gave him a credit or a debit card. And he was like, "Well, how'd I start a tab then? Like I have a tab, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, you owe us for 3 drinks." He's like, "How'd I start it? You start tabs without credit cards?" And they're like, "You never gave it to us." They couldn't find his credit card. And the mass whole move was this bartender was just acting like he didn't give it to him. And she was doing the move of like, "You're just fucking drunk. You're some dumb redneck. I'm sorry you don't know how the city works." Like she was hitting him with like really shitty things.
Yeah.
And Brian was being calm at first, but she was just being a masshole. It was total rudeness. He's like, I don't know what to tell you. You have the only card that I have. And again, how would you have started my tab without it? You don't start tabs without cards in this bar.
Right.
And she's like, "Get him out of here." Like fucking get him out of here. And Robert had been with a girl like up on a different like level. The bar was two floors. And he had seen this and he kind of come down there. And at this point, the bouncers had made their way over there because Brian's starting to get mad. Brian's a pretty big dude. And she's getting louder. I mean, this is just like a trashy, like the bar's not trashy, but she's just this mouthy, trashy. "Get this fucking prick out of here."
Yeah.
Right. And she's like, I will leave if you give me my card. Robert comes into the middle of this melee. I'm trying to like coordinate stuff. There's giant bouncers. This is downtown Boston. These are like 6'5" bouncers. And Robert goes, "You ain't throwing Tennessee out of this bar." And I swear to God, he didn't finish the sentence, and he was in the full Nelson. And somebody had him with their hands behind his head, picked him up. Robert was like 6'1", 200. Like he's a big, he's a muscular dude. He looks like a feather. I mean, this dude just like flopped him around, kicks him out. He's outside waiting on us, right? I'm still trying to get Brian to just leave. The bouncers haven't kicked Brian out yet because he's like, "Hey, man, I'm not being unreasonable. I'm not yelling at her. What I'm saying is I will leave if she will give me my debit card." And she's like, "I don't have his fucking debit card. He's a fucking idiot. Get him out of here." So the guy's like, "I can tell you're trying to be calm, but you have to leave or I'm going to make you." So finally, Brian's like, "All right, we'll go outside." We get outside. I don't see Robert. I'm like, okay, he probably went to this bar next door. I kind of peek in. I see him at that bar. It's like Robert just went into another bar and got a drink. Total reasonable move. Well, then this is the redneck hillbillies come to town situation. Brian starts getting like fuming. This is when we were younger, and Brian, he hadn't got a hold of himself yet. Like Brian has a real bad temper with a really long fuse. And from her yelling at him and him having to leave, and then he sat there and thought about how he don't have another card.
Yeah.
He has no way to like have money now.
Yeah, don't hit.
He has decided, and I quote, I'm going back in there and I'm getting my card or I'm waking up in jail because at least I'll get food in jail.
Hard to argue with. Well, you know, I mean,
Well,
you could argue with it, but
I had to argue with it. I was
Yeah.
in law school, so luckily I could a little bit. I spent probably 20 minutes trying to talk this man off the weirdest ledge ever. I mean, he literally kept saying to me, he was saying he started getting like worse and drunker. Like I think the alcohol was hitting him more and the anger was building up and time was passing. He was saying shit like, Drew, you have a future. You're in law school. You don't need to be here, but I'm fucking going to jail. Like it became like less here's my logic and more I'm about to go fuck somebody up. And I had him in an alley and I kept like getting in front of him to the point where I was like, you're gonna have to hit me to get by me, dog. Like I'm not letting you do this. I finally talked him down. I was like, we'll come back tomorrow. I may have made something up like me and my friends will sue him, buddy. Like we're gonna figure this out. We'll be back here tomorrow. And he's like, all right, we'll leave. Well, at that point, I leave the alley and I realize, where the fuck is Robert? He's not at that bar anymore. I call him. He answers and he's going, I went home with 2 girls. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude, rock and roll. Get in a cab, leave. I get to my apartment 45 minutes or so later. And basically, as soon as I get there, Robert calls me and says, they kicked me out, dude. They kicked me out. Some dude punched me in the face, dude. No clue what he's talking about. I have no idea where he's at. Neither does he. I'm like, where are you? And he goes, kind of close to the bar. And I go, you walked from the bar? No, we took a cab. I'm like, Robert, Boston is a huge city. I really don't know what to do right now. And he goes, well, my phone's dying. And I go, do you have any money? And he said, no. I was like, fuck. Now, this is pre-Uber and Lyft or any of that. I was like, get in a cab, and when you get here, I'll pay them. Okay, here's the address. Robert's like, I'm doing it. My phone's dying. I'll see you in a few. I waited on the curb for what felt like 2 hours. But in the meantime, Brian's lost his debit card. I was a broke student. I had $16, some of which was change that I was planning on doing my laundry with. The cab driver showed up. Robert fell out onto the curb and puked. He fell onto the curb and vomited. And then I just kind of handed $16 to the cab driver and was like, this is literally all the money I have. I'm sorry. And then jerked Robert inside. So we also were the assholes of that story.
Well, I mean, at least he puked on the curb, right?
Exactly. And that cab ride was probably $70. 16 is better than none, I think.
I thought you said 60. Oh, yeah. That's
16.
yeah.
1-6.
That don't hit.
I had a 10 and $6 in quarters.
Mhm.
I handed him $6 in quarters.
Shoo way.
I had no other option. It's a different time. I had no credit card.
This is so far removed from when it would have made sense to be in the conversation, but I just don't want to not bring it up. 3 minutes into the show, you said something like, I'm not high tech or nothing. And you reminded me, do you remember the song High Tech Redneck?
Oh, yeah.
I hadn't thought of that song in years, so I looked it up. It's by fucking George Jones.
Yeah.
George Jones had a song called High Tech Redneck in the 90s. And as soon as I thought of it, I was like, I'm going to look that up because I bet the stuff that qualified for High Tech Redneck, 30 years ago is funny now. And it ain't bad. So I looked up the lyrics. I thought I'd read them. So this is what a high tech redneck was in 94 or whenever that came out. It was something like that. He's got 13 channels of wrestling coming in strong from a satellite send, a 200 function remote control big screen TV with stereo, football, baseball, NASCAR 2 with picture in picture. It's all in view. About picture in picture. You remember that shit? That was
Brad Newport, first person in town that got it that I know of.
Yeah, you'd have 2 games going at once.
That's what it was for.
never did really hit all that hard though. But also like this is definitely this was the height of.
I think it hit back then. You don't think it hit back then?
I don't know. I mean, it was like, you know, for me, it was like, what a time to be alive. But I don't think it ever really. I mean, why would they? Is it just like standard now? Can any TV do that and people just don't? Why would they get rid of it if it kept hitting for people? It's like the other screen, especially back then. You got to remember, people were like, the TVs that hit back then were like either 36 inches, right? That was a big CRT TV, cathode ray tube or whatever the fuck it is, which is like the not, or a truly big screen back then was one of those projector TVs, and those did not hit. I don't care what anybody says. They were big for the time, but you had to be directly in front of it or it looked like shit if you tried to watch it from any angle. So if you had like a 36-inch, big non-projector TV with picture in picture on it, I know because we did, that other picture, you couldn't tell much about what was going on there.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. I just feel like I remember everybody being excited about it back then, and I can't help
Oh,
but
they
wonder if
were, yeah.
I can't help if we weren't looking at it through like our modern eyes. Because here's another example: when you like watch on this, because now you just do like Red Zone or whatever, right? But
Yeah.
when you watch on this on the phone, I can go text y'all
Uh-huh.
or talk shit, but keep
Yeah.
it going. That
Yeah.
really hits for me.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, that's another reason why I guess you don't need picture in picture so much is because you've got multiple screens around you at all times. I mean, I can have something on my TV, on my iPad, and on my phone, and this stupid piece of shit, this MacBook that I'm talking to you on right now. I could use it too if I wanted to.
But it don't
But
hit.
no, it don't hit. But then also, I'll keep going. And if it comes on just a little too late with his VCRs, he'll get it on tape. He's a high-tech redneck Mayberry meets Star Trek. He's a bumpkin, but he's plugged in. He's a high-tech redneck. He's got 20 subwoofers in the back of his truck, 1,000 watts of power, and he keeps it cranked up. He ain't into hip-hop. He ain't into rap. He likes to rattle them speakers with Ronnie Millsap.
What a great bar.
CD, cassette, digital tape, CB, radar, and scanning shortwave. And if he needs to talk to his honey at home, he just dials up her number on his cellular phone. He's a high-tech redneck. I didn't think cell phone was going to make it in there in fucking 94, but sure enough did.
Man, Asians invented that, unlike rap. I want two things. One, I love this song. I always sing it, and then I'll go, "He's a something, but he's bumping." I can't remember that lyric, and it's funny that it rhymes with what I thought. I should have known it was bumpkin.
Mm-hmm.
Two, the rap call out. It feels connected to. This is a stretch, maybe. It kind of feels like connected to the sort of weird identity divide we have today. I don't know if that makes sense because now rednecks will blast rap and they're
I was about
down.
to say, I don't think a
It's not
country artist would ever say that today because hell, they fucking ape rap. What
right.
they
Yeah.
they copy rap all the time.
But now, so it's different, but it's a similar thing where country still has that thing of like, I'd never do that. I'm trying to think of what it is. Probably go to the city. It's generally like,
Yeah.
keep your city stuff over there.
Eat it like a Michelin star restaurant or that type of shit. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah,
The
we eat at
opposite of
Applebee's.
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. It's the opposite of fancy, like because that's what we will do is we eat at Applebee's and be dumb, but we won't hit somewhere that hits or be smart. That's actually related to a thing that I was thinking about earlier. Do you have any idea or any concept of? I guess it's that. I guess we just answered the question. I wasn't thinking of the song when I thought of the question, but earlier on the bike, I was listening to. It was a '90s ride, and Korn was on it.
Hell yeah!
And I was once again thinking about. Well, basically, it led me down this road, and this is. I'm sure every different type of person probably has a similar type of thing in their head, but I feel like the late '90s. late 90s and early 2000s was a hitting time to be white trash, which I was. Then the mid to late aughts was a hitting time to be a bro, which I had become in my college years. And then the 2010s were a hitting time, pop culture speaking, to be a nerd, which I've always been. And now it's a hitting time to be a queer, and I'm the biggest queer on earth, you know. So it's like I've
Coming
been
up,
pretty,
Trae.
been pretty, yeah. Everything keeps coming up, Trey. But no,
Sucked for you in the '90s, I guess, the early '90s.
the early 90s, I suppose, yeah. But I was just thinking about trash, and I was wondering, like,
I was just sitting around thinking about trash.
well, trash music. There used to be so much really hitting trash music, and I was like, what are the white trash kids in Salina and Morgan County and stuff now
Yeah.
listening to? But it's probably fucking fancy like and all that shit, ain't it?
It,
And if
some of that, but like the cool kids, I'll put it in quotes, don't care about that. They're listening to. I mean, I'll tell you, they're listening to Upchurch, or they were. He may be out now, Upchurch the redneck, but but shit like that.
he's like
Uh,
still relevant and hitting in that world.
he may not be like I might be going back 5 years,
Hmm.
but my point is like they didn't just move on to fancy like they got their own shit. Um, my nephew loves Zach Bryan, which is good.
Yeah.
Loves Morgan Wallen, which is not great. Um, they like Tyler Childers. Uh, there's a few rappers, and I can't think of their names that they like, who are like hick hoppy. Oh, they like Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
Now, so like they're still white trash abides, baby.
Yeah, right,
It's
for
you
sure.
kind of
But
learn like
like that, dude, think like, and I mean, I think we've talked around this subject before, but fucking like Corn, Kid Rock, Eminem,
yeah
fucking Everlast, and what so much other shit was like mainstream huge. It's like white trash culture, like I like blew up. I feel like in the
yeah
not the redneck part of it so much, but because white trash like transcends. You got redneck white trash, but you also got like Detroit white trash, like Eminem or whatever. But just white trash across the board
yeah.
had a real fucking moment, I feel like,
I do too.
culturally back in
I
that
think what
time. And I
yeah I
didn't even
think
appreciate it as a trash baby in the moment. I mean, I
well,
did in that it hit for me, but I didn't really realize, the significance of the trash era,
Well,
I
how could you
suppose.
though? How could you have
Right.
appreciated it? Because what was happening then, and we have touched on this a little bit, is MTV was creating a sort of rotation of different things having their moment. The internet made it to where everything can have their moment all at once, but no one can have a huge moment anymore. Corn, there's a pretty convincing article that I sent you guys like a year ago that Corn sort of the last big, huge rock band, meaning kids lined up around the block to get into the studio when they did MTV. Meaning they went from nobody to overnight. Every kid in America knew who they were and loved them. I think it was just sort of random luck that white trash was the last thing that was being pushed on there because hip hop had a moment before that. Skater punk shit had a moment before that with Blink 182 and all that stuff.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, it was just like it was going to be a rotation of all the things kids liked. And then the internet made it to where we can just do all that at once. But we've had some mainstays since then now. Let's bring up Miley Cyrus,
Okay.
who's crossed over a little bit. We like her. I do anyway.
Yeah.
Um, and then, Morgan Wallen is what he is, but he's trash and he is mainstream.
Yeah. No, I know. I mean, in country, I like, everybody I named earlier it wasn't country. Like country's
Right.
always had,
Right.
you
That's true.
know, its claws in trash and vice versa. But I was talking about like there was like mainstream shit. But you said Corn was the last big rock band. Is it just that and listen, they don't hit for me and they're not trash either, I don't think. But like is Imagine Dragons not a like a rock band, like a modern day version of a rock band? Because kid, my sons, they Imagine Dragons hit for them. And like kids,
I don't think
I don't know
teens.
if kids are losing that now, but like they were definitely huge for a while in the
Yeah.
kid world.
I think they're considered more pop, them and the chain smokers. But I would
Right.
also argue that I don't think Imagine Dragons was ever as big as Corn. I could be
Yeah, I
wrong.
don't think. Well, I don't think that it's part of your point, I guess, but I don't think that bands can get as big
Right.
now as
Right.
bands could get back then. That was like at the tail end of what the music industry used to be,
Right.
Which it's long since dead.
I think that's right. But then at the same time, I just checked the Billboard Top 50 out of curiosity. Part of what happens is with the internet might be that whatever's super popular, if it's not your shit, you don't have to know about it. It was unavoidable. If I wanted to hear the one Kendrick Lamar song I liked on MTV, I had to see what the fuck else MTV was playing. So the reason I'm bringing this up, the top hits right now, Glass Animals, who I've heard of, the number 2 hit is by Justin Bieber. I knew he still was relevant.
I thought his face fell off or whatever.
I don't even know what that means. But
Didn't
what I
he
do
have
know,
Bell's palsy or something like that? I thought he was going to be out of the game for a while because he had some sort of
is that real? I
some
didn't
sort of
know
slot
that.
face. I don't know. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I believe you.
Justin
He's got
Bieber
another hit.
reveals why
His other
half his
hit's number
face is
8.
paralyzed. That's from June of 2022.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe that just happened and he already made these songs because one of these is
He
number 8.
canceled his tour and all kinds of shit. Yeah.
Well, he made the number 8 song he made with Juice WRLD, who I think is dead. So
Oh, well, there. Yeah. Okay.
my point that it's a little convoluted that I'm trying to make is like, I think one thing that happens is whoever the biggest in the world is, we're removed from it. Because number one, we're old, but number two, we don't have to go to a centralized spot to hear what we like. We can just go hear what we like. So I have no idea. I knew Glass Animals was a band, and I've seen them at festivals and liked some of it. It shocks me that they have the number 1 hit in the world right now. I thought they were an indie kind of not underground, but you know what I
No,
mean.
yeah, I agree. They're like a Bonnaroo type of like like you said, like indie type shit. Like it's sort of like Portugal the Man had like a major hit a few years. I mean, hell, at this point, that was probably 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know if they still hit or not, but
I'm gonna go see him.
I fucking love them. Love them. We
Must
saw
see
them
him.
together, and I thought that show was fucking incredible.
Top 5 all time for me. That's why I
Yeah,
want
it
to go
was.
see him
Yeah,
again.
it was so great.
PTM baby.
Oh yeah, they do hit. But yeah, I don't know. I knew obviously. I mean, we've talked a lot about how I don't keep up with music anymore, which is part of why I was asking the question. But I was also just thinking about I got Corn, Corn going, and it just got me in that trash space. And I was like, damn, there was just like I said, trash was in for a minute there.
I think it was in. I wish DJ was here to help us with white trash pop culture references. But there was also, I just remembered there was that moment where Zeph was in because of the Arntword, which was
Yeah.
just South African white trash shit.
Sure, that was like
And
years later, though, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'm saying it's had
a
its
separate moment. Yeah,
it has these pop up moments, but I hope
weren't they?
that
But weren't they? And look, they hit for me. They always did hit for me. But they're like performance artists, right? Meaning like they ain't actually that, right?
100% correct.
Yeah. See, I can't help but have that hit for me a little less.
Of
I
course.
just, it's just the way I'm wired. Like if they were real Zeph, which South African white trash, that would hit for me way harder than knowing that it's like the whole thing's like a fucking art piece or whatever.
Of course.
But I did like their shit though,
Yeah, but there's definitely no Insane Clown Posse going on right now. They're still
I'm
going
about to say,
on.
you can't
But
stop ICP, but Juggalo
every
Nation
head must
strong.
bow.
Yeah.
Every tongue must profess. The kings of trash right there.
I just want to remind everybody that I heard Violent J on a podcast talking about how fucking stupid a Southern accent is, and how anytime you hear somebody with a Southern accent, you can just tell they're a dipshit who don't know nothing. And he's saying this with his ICP makeup on, and it was just it was cracking me up because it's like, dude, this dude thinks like check out these dips. He wasn't talking about us, but he would think that about us. And it's funny to me knowing that, like that's sort of the space that our accent occupies in most Americans' minds.
Aren't you still doing an accent bit?
Oh yeah, I'm always doing accent bits. Yeah,
I mean, me too, generally, but I happen to not be. I don't think right now. I'll try to work it into one of mine. If you don't, you really ought to put that in there. Being like,
yeah,
listen, this is how universally
that's a
known it
good. I
is that
mean,
we're
yeah,
dumb.
it's a
A
good point.
grown man in a clown outfit who
Yeah,
is known. What are they known for? Like spreading hepatitis and drinking Fago.
right. Yeah, yeah.
It's like, you know who's dumb? People who sound like William Faulkner.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, I have a whole other thing I wanted to talk to you about, which I guess I'll get into right after this. Hey, everybody, let's talk about Roan shirts, clothes, looking good, feeling good, all that stuff. Roan is a sponsor of this edition of the Well-Read Podcast. Y'all, I don't know how you feel, but I'm not good about knowing how to look. Never have been, never will be, probably, especially with dress shirts, because, I come from the trash streets. I like dress shirts. I like feeling like I look good and looking like I belong and all that stuff, but I need my hand held. I don't know what I'm doing. Oftentimes, also, they feel uncomfortable. Oh, they're too tight. They don't fit right. The arms ain't long enough or whatever. Also, you always got to, it's like, oh, this shirt is for doing this. I need a different shirt for doing a different thing. And that can be annoying too. I just get all spun up over clothes sometimes, and that's just the way it is. And so let's talk about Roan and their clothes, guys. The dress shirt was due for a radical reinvention, and Roan stepped up to the challenge. Roan's commuter shirt is the most comfortable, breathable, and flexible shirt known to man. And here's why. Roan's comfortable four-way stretch fabric provides breathability and flexibility that leaves you free to enjoy whatever life throws your way, from your commute to work to 18 holes at golf. It's time to feel confident with a wrinkle-free shirt without the hassle. With Roan's wrinkle release technology, wrinkles disappear as you stretch and wear the shirt. It's that easy. Also, with Gold Fusion anti-odor technology, you'll be smelling so fresh and so clean all day long. And on top of that, Roan is 100% machine washable, so you can ditch the dry cleaner altogether. Y'all, these shirts, the commuter shirt is what's up. They sent us some. I've been digging it. Like I said, it takes all the hassle out of it. It feels like wearing just a regular old shirt, but you look like you're wearing a fancy shirt, if that makes any sense. Surely it does. And I'm not that stupid. I can at least put that together. I look like I should be where I'm at, wherever I'm at, wearing the commuter shirt. And I feel like I could be at home on the couch doing whatever, because that's how comfortable it is. It fits right. It looks good. It's extremely versatile. You can put it on in the morning, wear it all day. You ain't got to worry about changing for different things. Wear the same thing to all the things, and you'll hit wherever you go in your commuter shirt. Also, wear it all day long. Still feel fresh as a daisy at the end of the day. It's a truly phenomenal shirt they got down there at the Rome place. You guys need to try it. So here's what you can do. The commuter shirt can get you through any workday and straight into whatever comes next. So head to roan.com/wellred and use the promo code wellred to save 20% off your entire order. That's 20% off your entire order when you head to RHONE.com/wellred and use the code wellred. That's wellred, as y'all know, and get 20% off. It's time to find your corner office comfort. Thank you, Roan, for sponsoring the podcast.
Thank you,
And we're
Rome.
back. All right.
I want to thank Rome for sponsoring the podcast and for that read you just did. I just want to say, reading between the lines, and this is a positive, this is a feature. Their whole thing is, hey, are you too dumb to figure out how to iron your shirt?
Yeah, well, a
Are
lot of
you too
men are,
lazy
you
to
know
go
what I
to the
mean?
dry cleaner?
Yeah.
Well,
Do you
buddy, we
stink?
figured it out.
Well,
And
they
they
know their
did. They
audience, I
did
think.
figure it
Yeah,
out.
right. Yeah, exactly. Uh, I wish I'd have had Roan shirts back when I worked at my office job, which is the thing I wanted to talk to you about, because you were a lawyer. And so,
I still
you
am.
know, right. Well, I just want to know how different this is in your experience, because that was the only job, like, that's the only office job I ever had. I worked in restaurants when I was in college and business school. And after that, I had this one office job. And it's a pretty sweet gig in a whole lot of ways. It's working for the government, it's like super good benefits and insurance and all that stuff. They pay well. You don't have to work all that hard. Everybody, I think most people know that. You get good time off and all that stuff. All that shit hit. But like, it was a super, and I don't mean this in the political sense, it was a super conservative work environment. And again, I don't mean politically like that too, even though mostly we weren't supposed to talk about politics. Obviously, we worked for the fucking government. You're supposed to just do whatever the mission was. But like here's the best example that I think I can think of. We had to like get together with everybody that was part of this one large project, right? And it was a Recovery Act project. And it had to do with like sponsoring renewable energy projects for towns and cities and county governments all around the country, right? So there was like the people who worked the grants, which is me, the people who approved the projects the cities were doing. So, you're going to install a bunch of high efficiency street lights or whatever. Those people are like scientists and engineers from the lab. And then like the managerial people. And then one of the managers had a party, like a barbecue to celebrate us hitting some milestone or something. So it was on a Saturday at like the boss's house, right? And we go there, and one of the science people, and a lot of them were like this, they were from all over the world. She was this Russian lady named Tonya, right? And everybody loved Tanya. She was super sweet, funny, Russian as fuck. And she came.
Sorry, she was Ukrainian, everybody. Our bad. Go ahead.
I mean, well, now, yeah. I mean, look, I think that you can meet a Russian who still hits for you.
Oh,
okay. I don't think that. I doubt Tanya's down with Putin or anything. That'd be wild if she was. But she brought a bottle of Russian vodka.
Fuck yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. Okay. Now keep in mind, I've been there me and Bryce and all of us, I think have been there less than 2 years at this point. I'm 26 or something. It's my first office job. I'm fucking trash. I don't know what I'm doing. I expect to get fired every day. But anyway, no one who was there touched it. Right. Nobody. Because that's just the way it was. Like for everybody.
Like
I could tell by looking at I know in retrospect it is. I know that all of us, I knew how I felt. I was like, I'm not going to be the one to start drinking at this party when nobody else is. But it's like, it was always like that. Nobody ever did anything that hit with like me, like those of us who came in together out of college, like me and Bryce and our friends who were our age, we'd go to a bar together separately. And I'm sure there were other groups of people who worked there who were doing the same thing. But if it was any kind of like work related function, but not while on duty, like something like that, there would be things like that, holiday parties and stuff. No one was ever hitting or having any fun because it's like it wasn't right or proper.
I think it was a religious thing,
probably that too,
but generational thing.
Yes, also that they were mostly older and stuff, and
I think the young people didn't feel comfortable enough yet to do it in front of the old people. And
I know that's true.
And I think the old people just didn't really drink vodka. Like they just didn't want it.
Well, I'm just wondering because like I hear. Again, that's the only office job I've ever had, but I hear other people talk about, whatever. They go to happy hour after you get off on Thursday or Friday or whatever, and that type of shit. Like, and that's just like that job just were not like that at all ever. And I'm wondering how rare that is. And I was like, well, I was in the South. I'm in the Bible Belt, but I don't know. Anyway.
Well, I have two reasons I think it's rare. One is I've never experienced that. To be fair, most of my office jobs in the South, though, were public defenders' offices, and that is its own type of thing. I mean, people start letting loose, start having drinks, and talking about the drugs they do openly in front of the boss.
That just hit so much harder.
Yeah. Oh, this was the other reason I think that's rare. That exact office that you no longer work in. I walked onto the patio on a Friday sometime last year of a downtown establishment and saw a friend of ours, a mutual friend who you may not have mentioned already. It might have been a year and a half ago, with his entire team on a team building day getting hammered. And
Oh,
I
well, that's
got
great. Well,
hammered
that
with him.
like you
So I
said, maybe that so, yeah, well, my man's making some changes to the culture around there. That's what I like to hear.
I
No, that's
think,
great. That's
yeah,
good. That's what, because yeah, like you said, generation. Because no one, people don't leave that job. People don't leave government jobs for the most part. Like I was extremely rare in doing so, but also like we all got hired under the Recovery Act. Thanks, Obama. Right. And so because of the Recovery Act, a whole bunch of new people fresh out of college came into the DOE at the same time. And there was us, and then most everybody else who worked there had been there for 30 fucking years. You know what I mean? And they were like our parents' age or older. So there was a massive generation gap. And yeah, they was never trying to hit or have any fun at all. A lot of them were very cool, very sweet people, and I don't have anything against them. I'm just saying, like, I didn't, I was trying to get a beat on how common or not that is. Cause I definitely at the time, I was still hitting the sauce pretty hard and none of that shit. I
and you
found it
didn't
to be
drink it
real.
either.
No, hell no. I was
I think
scared.
all the young people were scared, and all the old people just wouldn't have done that. They weren't going to drink vodka that day, or at least not in front of people. What's the old joke? How do you keep Baptists from drinking your beer? Invite
Invite
another
two of
Baptist.
them.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Why
it
do you
might
have
have
to
been
go?
a scenario
Why
like
do you
that.
only go fishing with two Baptists? Cause if you only go with one, he'll drink all your beer.
Yes,
Something like
that
that.
that
Yeah.
that scenario was going on with the
Yes.
olds, and then the news were like, I am surprised you didn't have one mouthy broad. There's always one mouthy broad in an office who's so much fun, and that's her thing, is being fun. And she can get like three things done nobody knows how to do, and she is fun. And I cannot believe she wasn't like, damn, Tanya brought vodka. Well, we're gonna do shots.
We had a full board drunk in the office, but she I don't think was there that day.
Mm. Yeah,
And
she's just like, she don't go to those parties
yeah,
because
right.
she knows.
Yeah, right. And she was, again, like getting the DUI at 9 o'clock on a Tuesday morning type drunk. I hope she's doing better now. But
I
anyway, yeah,
hope she's listening
nobody was
at
following
rehab.
nobody was following her lead at any point. And then we had another mouth in who hit for me, but was also like super churchy. Like I remember her telling me about she bought when 50 Shades of Grey was huge. She had to know what all the fuss was about, but she like put it under a stack of like what are they called, devotionals or something like church books. Like she went to Barnes and Noble and got like 4 church books that she already had at her house or didn't otherwise need, and then the 5th book on the bottom was 50 Shades of Grey. So
And then she told you this story.
yeah, yeah. She always really hit for me, despite the fact that me and her like I'm sure she hates me now, which is
No,
a bummer.
I don't think she does, because
Now
that
she
was.
was pretty,
I know you don't speak, church lady, but that was flirting right there. Is what that
hardcore
was.
Christian conservative. Oh hell, I hadn't even thought
Uh-huh.
about it like that. No,
She's a freak.
oh Lord. I hope this don't get back to her because I was not trying to call you a freak at
I hope it.
all.
I hope it don't get back to her
I thought you
either.
were a sweet lady. That's all I'm
She is
trying
a
to
sweet
say.
lady, but she wants you to tie her up with
No,
rosary beads and
no,
put a crown of
no,
thorns
no,
in her
no.
butt.
That's not what I'm saying. Oh
It's funny because,
Lord.
like, I genuinely feel that way, and it was kind of just a passing thought I had. I was like, kept it with the church stuff. That feels kinky. Like, put it together. Told Trae about it, a man who's not her husband, and I'm saying it out loud. And the more uncomfortable you got, then it was like, I don't even care if I believe this anymore. Now I'm going
Yeah.
to spin a whole tale. But I've convinced myself I'm a great fucking lawyer. She's a freak.
All right. Well, again, I just
Oh man, I'm gonna
also I'm
regret
only
this, but
just now starting to get a little bit of an echo of myself. Now I don't hear it. But anyway, I think it's been fine and we're almost at an hour
yeah,
anyway,
it's time to
so
go.
I
I'll
think
check
it'll
it.
be
I won't
okay.
check it. I'll just send it to the lady. I'm gonna regret saying this, but go Vols, baby.
Oh God. Yeah,
I'm
I
not gonna
know.
regret saying this. Go Chiefs. Fuck the Raiders.
Oh, fuck off. Whatever.
And
Don't do it.
Yeah, make sure you go to our websites and all that. And dude, I'll try.
What?
Thank y'all for listening to the wellRED Show. We love to stick
Stick
around now,
around,
but
mama,
we
but
got
you
to
got to
go.
go. Tune in
Tune in
next week if you
if you
got.
got nothing to do.
Woo. Thank you. God bless you. Good night and skew. All right.